Come on, work!
Oh my god, what's going on, Danny?
What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
What are you doing, man?
I'm trying to set up this GameCube, but the thing's not working. Look, it doesn't turn on.
Why do you have a level?
Because I'm trying to level it. Like, this is... Okay, it's leveled at least.
Why does it look like that GameCube got shot?
Because it's probably been shot, okay? What do you want me to do about it?
I don't know, man. And look at that controller, man. That's a GameStop controller.
It's the only one I have.
What?
What am I supposed to do?
Come on, man.
What am I supposed to do here?
I don't know. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it even plugged in?
What? It is plugged in. What are you talking?
Oh my god.
I don't know why it's not working, man.
Well, here, man. How about try this one out?
Wait. Oh. Is this for keeps or what?
Yeah, man. It's all you.
Well, thank you. I actually really appreciate it. I think that would help a bit, so I guess I'll just kind of...
Plug it in?
Yeah, transfer everything over here.
That should solve everything, except for,
Yeah, I don't need that anymore, thankfully, but... Cool. That looks better.
Oh, yeah. That looks way better, but, maybe we need to fix that controller a little bit, huh?
Well, what's wrong with it?
I mean, come on, man. That's a GameStop
I don't
controller.
have anything else. I told you already. Where am I supposed to get a GameCube controller now?
You know what? I think I know a guy for you.
What's he gonna do?
Dude, he's gonna hook you up. Something new, something fresh.
Oh, okay. Where's he at?
Come on, man. Let's go.
All right, cool. I'm trusting you on this.
Oh, man. I got you.
Let's go. All right. Are you... Why does everything in my life have to be broken? Seriously? Come on, man. All right. Let me give Paul a call.
Mr. Mario, what's happening, dude?
Hey man, I'm real sorry to hit you up on such short notice, but my whole GameCube chi, the controller game, is completely messed up right now. It's bad. I need a new controller from you as soon as possible, if you can fit me in.
I hear you, my friend, but I have a lot going on, and I've been developing some new mods.
Look, I understand you're busy, and I normally wouldn't hit you up with something like this. But here's the thing. Right now, I'm using this cheapo GameStop controller for the GameCube. You know how they say power to the players? I'm not sensing any power right here. This thing is horrible.
Mother of God, you play GameCube with that thing? Oh, you poor soul. Alright, I will not allow it. I think I've got just the plan to get you a proper controller, souped up to the nines.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do, and I love you. Alright, cheesy acting aside, let's just get serious for a moment here. Paul from RockerGaming hit me up and wanted to collaborate, so to speak, and make a custom Mr. Mario 2011 controller. A friend of mine, Tony Mondello, already made me a custom console, so why not a controller? Let's see what Paul can do with this. Take it away, dude.
Just wanted to thank Mr. Mario for inviting me over to his channel to help him out with this mod. For those of you who aren't aware who I am, I'm RockerGaming, and I run the RockerGaming channel here on YouTube, as well as the Etsy shop. My channel focuses on all kinds of mods, reviews, and other video game related projects. So I wanted to provide a quick overview of the controller and what I plan to do to it. Our base is going to be a spice orange controller. We're going to use some white buttons. We're going to look to make the sticks and the D-pad blue. Then we're going to look into changing the cable and using some paracording to make it look really cool. And then I've got something very cool planned for the A button. Well, this all looks good on paper, but let's stop talking and get into this mod. So as we can clearly see, this controller has kind of seen better days. Clearly that thumbstick on the left is pretty beat up. And obviously this is a spice orange controller, which would have came out in 2003. So let's go ahead and rip this thing open, and let's do a little bit of maintenance and get it looking nice and fresh again. With the controller ripped open, the first thing to do is some general maintenance. And I like to start by cleaning these rubber membrane pads that sit underneath the buttons. To do that, I just use a toothbrush and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and just take it to them. Cleans them up really nice, gets all the dirt and other gunk off there, no problem. Next I'm going to turn my attention to the cable, and I'm going to desolder that from the actual PCB. We'll get into this a little bit later, but let's just say that black sleeving has got to go. So the last piece of general maintenance I like to do is add more lubrication to the actual stick boxes. Like I said, this controller came out in 2003, And that means there hasn't been any lubrication put on these sticks in over 15 years. So I think it's time to go ahead and put some new lubrication on there so those sticks are nice and fluid. With all that general maintenance out of the way, I want to turn my attention to the buttons. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, why don't you just go buy some buttons, off the shelf, so to speak? And while that is most certainly an option, the problem that I have with it is, it doesn't give me the opportunity to truly customize these things. So what I'm going to do instead is create a silicone mold of these buttons and then cast them to my own specification. So first order of business is to go ahead and get these adhered to my backer board. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to do this. And as you can kind of see, I've used some plastilinic clay to prop up the Z button and the D-pad. And then I've also used it to fill in all the voids on the back of the A, B, X, and Y button. So let's get these all adhered, and then let's go ahead and build up the rest of our mold box. So with the mold box complete, I'm going to pour up some silicone. I'm using Moldstar 15 Slow, which is a platinum-based silicone. Now, for this specific silicone, I like to vacuum degas it, and I like to make sure that there are no air bubbles because I want my mold to be as good as it possibly can be. If you don't want to use platinum-based silicone, I'd recommend using something like an Umu 30, which is a tin cure silicone, and it just in general tends to be a little bit easier to work with, especially when you don't have all the, call it, proper tools to make this happen. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this first layer poured. This is going to be a 2-part mold, so layer 1 getting poured right now, and we'll let that cure over the next 6 to 8 hours. With the first half of the mold all cured, it's time to pull it apart, set the mold box back up, and get ready to pour the second half of this mold. If you ever end up trying this thing yourself, just remember, always use mold release on the second half of the mold, because the only thing that silicone sticks to is other silicone. Mold is done, and now it's time to make us some buttons. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and prepare my urethane-based resin, and I'm going to go ahead and make my buttons, and I'm going to cast them using some pearl white with just a pinch of blue to make them a little bit of off-white. And the reason why I want off-white is because I hear Mr. Mario plays video games with Cheeto fingers. Yuck. So with the resin all put together and mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and inject it into the mold using a syringe, and we're going to go ahead and let it cure for a few hours and hope that we get the result we're looking for. Well, time to crack open the mold. And I would say I'm super happy with the way these buttons look. They turned out with a nice off-white and a little bit of pearl on them, and they look absolutely fantastic. I've got some other plans for the D-pad and for the A button, but we'll show those later. So I figured if we're going to customize this thing, we might as well do some, aesthetic type LED mods. And the first thing I'm going to install is this Shine Wave kit. And what the Shine Wave kit is it's an actual reactive LED mod. Yeah, it actually reacts to the buttons you press. Here, take a look at this example. When the controller's in its idle state, you can kind of see it just rainbow flashes. And then when you press specific buttons, it will actually react to your button presses. Now this kit was designed with Smash Melee in mind, but let's be honest, it'll work with anything. Installation of the actual kit itself is pretty easy to do. It just involves cutting various lengths of the wire and connecting them to various individually addressable LEDs. So let's go ahead and just montage through this installation real quick, get everything connected up and installed into the controller. So with all that work done, I want to move on to a new prototype of a mod I've been working on. And I've been looking for a controller to try this on. So guess what, Mr. Mario? You're my test dummy. I'm really sorry, buddy, but I needed to try this on something. These are called LED rings. They are what the name simply implies, which is a ring of LEDs to illuminate the joysticks on the controller. These install pretty simply and just involve slipping the LED ring over the top of the actual stick box. With those LED rings out of the way, the only thing left to do is reassemble and ship this over to Mr. Mario.
Alright, now I know we went a little bit goofy on this video, but I have to say, it's been fun to do this. My actual thoughts on this controller here, this thing is incredible. This feels like such a great controller. Actually using this, it was myself and my buddy Sean who helped out a little bit. We both got to try out this controller and played several games on the GameCube with it, and it just feels phenomenal. It is great. I think the only complaint I have about this, I have two. One of them, which I think is more funny, which Paul ended up pointing out to me. The C is upside down on this, and to me that's more funny if anything, but I mean, hey, the only other complaint I have, this kind of a nitpick, is that it has been so hard to truly capture how nice this controller looks on video. Like here, sure, you can see this, you can check it out, it looks real nice, you all saw it being built out, but looking at it lit up and everything, it looks beautiful. Especially with the Happy Lighting app, it's great. And I just want to say, you know, the nice attention to detail with having my face on the A button here, having the channel colors, I guess if we have official colors here on this. This cable is great, by the way. This pair recording right here, excellent idea. And finally, even this, just molding this right here, the custom colors and everything, he absolutely knocked it out of the park. It is incredible. Now, we're not here just to look at a controller. We're here to actually, you know, show it as well too, I guess. Now, hooking it up right here, I did want to just outline this real quick. As you can see, these are kind of just some of the settings that you can pick and all that. It has been mapped, as he mentioned, to melee. So when you press any of the X or Y buttons, that happens. And if you're pressing any of these buttons here, that works. Let's go ahead and turn off the lights as well too. Let's turn it down a little bit so you can see this a bit better. Alright, as you can see, just look at this. Just look. This is lighting up the room right here. This thing is awesome. But if you're playing this in the dark, that is when you're going to get the best view of this. Here I'm able to customize these two thumbsticks, but of course if you're playing some melee, you end up getting that from the X and Y buttons, and from the D-pad, this ends up happening as well too, which is pretty awesome to see. So it's really cool having that, and then when nothing's going on for a bit, it ends up going back to its ambient type color scheme, which is nice to see as well too. Now, the Happy Lighting app can be a little bit wonky to mess around with. You do need some type of device. I was using my phone, and then it has to access this all via Bluetooth. And essentially, this is what you do to get it all set up for anybody who might have one of these controllers and who's trying to figure it out. Now, this is going to be for Android, but if you're doing this, make sure you have your location and your Bluetooth on. You do have to do that in this instance. Fire up the Happy Lighting app. Then in the top left-hand corner, hit the 3 lines. Go down to My Device, open that up, and you should hopefully see your controller there. And from there, you can just link it, and then you can control it from your phone. Check this out. Look, look, look. It's kind of changing. We can see here, it's changing a lot, but it's just the light is right there, so it's a little harder to see. Overall though, my thoughts on this controller, this thing is awesome. This thing has been a pleasure to play around with, and it's one of those things, you know, since I've had it, I've shown several of my friends, or I can just even have it somewhere in the room, and they're utterly shocked seeing it. This is definitely one of the best, if not the best, GameCube controller that I have felt, so Paul, thank you so much for this. For anybody that does not know, this is not a sponsored video by any means. This was a collaboration between myself and RockerGaming. He wanted to do this for the channel here. He wanted to work on a collaboration video, and I said, sure, why not? Let's try this out. And this has absolutely exceeded any expectations I was thinking. So, Paul, thank you for reaching out. Thank you for working on this. Thank you for giving me this controller here. This has been awesome. If you all are interested in any services or any type of products that RockerGaming might have, or even any of his videos, because he does create videos, I'll have all the links down below in the description, but he is RockerGaming. You can find him on Twitter, Etsy, as well as YouTube. So I highly recommend checking out his shop, following him on Twitter, and of course, checking out his YouTube videos. He does some really awesome stuff. A lot of it very community-centric as well, too. Like, one of these examples is he took a controller like this, just like a stock controller, ended up doing a ton of customizations that his community got to vote on, and then at the end, he gave the controller away. Stuff like that is just awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. Just warms up my heart. Or I guess this will, because, you know, it's bright. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. RockerGaming, don't forget to check him out. Thank you so much, dude, for this controller. This is absolutely awesome. And I do have, I guess, one final thing to say on it. I'll let you all see it.
So what do you think of that controller, Danny?
Dude, I'm just saying, Sean, your guy, props to him. He really knows his stuff. This controller, this one right here, is awesome.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I love it and everything. It looks cool. Love the quality. Love the customization that my face is literally on it. That's real cool.
Hey, by the way, why are you wearing sunglasses?
Because this controller's so cool, you're going to need some sunglasses to look cool while playing with it.
Dang you, man. Really?
What? Just leave me alone.